Hello, I'm Tom Bailey, and in today's episode, I'll be getting to know Bert Martinez, who is a marketing Jedi and the author of Dominating Your Mind. He's worked with brands like Arnold Schwarzenegger, the US Air Force, Google, and CBS, as well as over 100 or even 1,000 small businesses to solve their marketing challenges. So, Bert, hello, and a very warm welcome to today's episode.
Hey, Tom, it's great to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
I really appreciate it. And just out of interest for our listeners, whereabouts in the world are you right now?
I'm in sunny Phoenix, Arizona, USA.
Incredible. Thank you so much. And I just want to share a little bit more about you before we do get started. So, Bert helps businesses to uncover lost and hidden opportunities that could be worth millions. And he's known for laying down growth strategies for businesses in a single conversation. The title for today's episode is How to Crush Your Fears and Destroy Your Doubts. And Bert is going to show us how to do that in just under 7 minutes. So no pressure whatsoever. Question number one is, who are your ideal clients?
My ideal clients are in the $5 million range as far as revenue goes. These are business owners, CEOs, executives, and they might have hit a plateau at 5 million, or they're trying to break through 5 million. And so those are typically my ideal clients.
Love it. Thanks so much. And what would you say is typically their biggest challenge that they face when you meet them?
Well, on the surface level, the biggest challenge is how to scale my business to the next level. That's what the surface challenge is. But the real challenge is their thinking. The difference between, let's say, an Arnold Schwarzenegger who can go from, athletics to business to movies to politics, and he makes it look so simple, is the way he thinks. So if you can dominate your mind, then you can really manifest whatever your future is. And it doesn't matter whether you're Mickey Mouse or Mickey Mantle. We all have fears, and these fears, what you're afraid of might be completely different than I'm afraid of. So maybe for you to make $10 million a year doesn't bother you. But for me, maybe I'm struggling just getting my head wrapped around $100,000 or $1 million. So really, it's fear. Fear is ultimately the thing that divides us, or the way we think is ultimately the thing that divides us.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. And when we don't dominate our mindset, what impact does that typically have on either us or our business?
Well, it has everything to do with or affect our business, our livelihood. People will feel stuck. They will feel as though they're stagnating. And so if you have one fear that's constantly running in your mind, and to elaborate, maybe it's a conversation. And a conversation could be as simple as, I'm not good enough. Who am I to make $5 million or $10 million, or who am I to write a book, or, whatever the conversation is. 80% of our conversations are negative, and they're constantly going. So not only will it affect your business, it'll affect your health, it'll affect your romantic life, your family life. It just permeates everything. And what happens is we tend to, when we start listening to these conversations, we tend to play small. And reality is, Tom, is that we were put on earth to play big, and you'll never go wrong by playing big, by doing the bigger thing, by thinking big. So it affects everything.
I love that. And I'm sure a lot of people listening are going to connect with this message of, imposter syndrome and playing small. So yeah, great piece of advice. And what would you say then is typically the first or single most valuable piece of advice that you'd give somebody to really help them make this shift in their mindset?
The number one single piece of advice would be, you don't need money. You need courage. We see it all the time, where somebody will have an idea and they don't do anything with it. And then somebody else will have the exact same idea and they're broke. They have no connections, but they have this ridiculous level of courage, this ridiculous level of self-belief, and they find the people and they make it happen. So self-belief, courage, whatever you want to call it, that's the number one single piece of advice. The more of this you have, no matter how ridiculous it is, the easier life becomes.
Love it. Great advice. And the next question from me then is, what is one valuable resource or somewhere you can point people so that they can get started and learn more about this?
Well, they can go to dominatingyourmind.com, dominatingyourmind.com. They can sign up for the book for free. They'll pay a little shipping. And my book, basically is how to dominate your mind, how to get that, how to stop thinking negative thoughts, how to crush your fears and destroy your doubts. So dominatingyourmind.com would be my go-to resource for today.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And what I'll do as well is I'll put that into the show notes. That's dominatingyourmind.com. And I absolutely recommend people click on that and dive in and get hold of that book.
Thank you.
So obviously you've had a interesting life. And one question for yourself right now is, what would you say is one of your greatest either mistakes or failures that you've made either in life or business? And what did you learn from it?
So I wish it was just the one time, but the one mistake that I made repeatedly was letting my ego out of control. And so there's a great book out there, another great resource, Enemy is the Ego. And so if you can keep your ego in check and not show off, but just show up, then you will crush it. Once your ego starts writing those checks, starts, you start believing that you cannot fail, that hey, life is great, I'm on this giant roll and it's never going to get it's only going to get better from here. Or maybe you think that you know it all. Hey, I can't, again, I can't fail, I'm so cool. That's when crap happens. And you see it out in the public eye as well. You see people who are so egotistical, they cheat on their family or their wives or their wife. There's people who will treat people rudely because, again, they think that they are somehow superior. So this is a mistake that I am very regretful of. And I'm also embarrassed to say that it took me I want to say probably about 3 times of just losing massive amounts of opportunity and literally millions of dollars before I woke up and I realized my ego is killing me.
Yeah, and what a great lesson to learn. And I'm sure it's shaped the future of your business as well.
Yeah.
So the last question from me today then is, what is the one question that I should have asked you today that will also bring some great value to our audience?
I think the question probably would be somewhere in the how do I get my business to the next level?
Okay, yeah, perfect. How do we do that?
So the way you get your business to the next level, no matter whatever level you're at. So again, we talked about courage, courage / self-belief, whatever you want to call it there. You have to have the willingness, the courage to fail and fail and fail, or try and try and try again. Marketing is a process of trying and failing and trying and failing and finding a thing that works. And because digital marketing is shifting so quickly, something might work for 3 or 4 or 5 months, and then you have to start over again. But if you will take 80% of your resources and focus it on marketing, your business will get to the next level quicker, better, faster. Sometimes that means you have to hire a marketing person. Maybe it's a coach, maybe it's a full-time marketing expert, but marketing is the answer to most business problems.
Yeah, I love that. And I think it was Michael Jordan that once said, you miss 100% of the shots you don't go after. So that's it. Try again, keep moving forward. And yeah, hopefully you'll hit your marketing targets.
Absolutely.
So, Bert, thanks again so much for your time today. I really appreciate you coming along and sharing such great value with our audience.
Tom, it was a pleasure. Looking forward to meeting you again.